So when things started happening this summer, when George Floyd was killed, I just started thinking about, what is it that the foundation can do to try to make a difference? As I was praying, just asking God, what is our role here? I felt like we have all these friends in Chester that we love and care about, and I have lots of friends in Westchester who've been part of the foundation and integral in our programming, and yet they don't know each other. The kids know each other, but the adults really didn't know each other, and so what could we do to bring our adult friends together for a conversation? And so I thought we would just choose 5 black men, 5 black women from Chester, 5 white men and 5 white women from Westchester, and bring them together for a conversation for a couple of hours. And so we hired Lania Terry, who is a diversity and equity inclusion expert, to kind of facilitate the conversation. And we had that one conversation. It went really, really well. I could see that people were interested in starting to connect. And as we were kind of saying goodbye and thanking everyone for participating, one of my friends from Chester just kind of unmuted himself and said, shame on us now that I know Matthew in Westchester, shame on us if we don't continue in a friendship. And so everybody agreed that they wanted to continue. And so that was the beginning of what now is Brave Conversations with community leaders.
Why did I say yes? I said yes to Brave Conversations because of relationship. I think relationships, healthy relationships, diverse relationships, relationships across cultural and socioeconomic backgrounds, I think are the basis for true community growth and community development. So I'm excited to see how these conversations are going to help impact how I raise my kids, how I love my wife, how I care for this community, how I build relationships.
I would love for Brave Conversation going forward to continue, for it to grow. I'm hoping that we all can continue the conversation because, again, I feel like it was just opening our eyes a little bit. We just scratching the surface. So if we can continue the conversation, continue to grow, continue to encourage people to have these conversations and not be afraid, make sure we create a safe space, but make sure that our voices are heard. Make sure that we're having these conversations to continue because we need a change. We definitely need a change in this world, and it has to start somewhere.
I'm hoping that from our 59 United and growing, that can kind of go into households and into families and into minds and consciousness of their children and nephews and nieces and people who have jobs, they have lives, they're settled. But what we can do is spend time with one another and get to know one another. And I think those kinds of experiences really help to bring forth authentic relationships that cause change in people's psyches.
Brave conversations can be awkward. They can be tough. When people choose to be vulnerable, they can be emotional. Honestly, I got involved in this because I want to build relationships with folks that have different experiences and backgrounds than I do, and how I can learn from that.
The Hicks Foundation has done some groundbreaking things, and I think this is just one of them. I actually hope that Brave Conversations could continue, just to be able to listen to other people and just to be able to respect their opinion.
I left with a sense of peace, not so much in the world, but I left with some hope. I left with some hope. I felt as though there is hope if we could just have a conversation and get to know one another, that there is some hope.
The foundation has never been an organization that just talks. We are very much people of action. In fact, we really try to live out a verse from the first book of John, which just basically says, let us not love one another with words or in speech, but with actions and in truth. Because I think it's really profound to see very different people, complete strangers, people whose lives don't naturally intersect, to still be open with one another and share life experiences with one another, and to love and care for one another. And I think that's what our world needs. And our children need to see us doing that. So we're just praying now. I'm asking God what to do next. And I feel like the Lord is just saying, continue to build critical mass. Add more people. have more people participate so that when the doors are open, when the pandemic is over and we can go out and be together, we can actually stand with one another.